with us.
Yeah, we're going to have your code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over.
Right.
You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
well.
It sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick. That's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free,
right?
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Pulsechain and crypto market update. That's what we're going to do today. It is a good old Monday in New Zealand, down under. It is midday today. The weather outside the last couple of days has been rainy and cloudy and wet and all that sort of stuff. Windy as well. Certainly last night, a very sort of mild, stormy weather. So it's kind of the weather here at the moment. I know it's only Sunday up in the US, up in the Northern Hemisphere. Hope everyone's having a nice, relaxing weekend there. And I guess you guys have still got that summery weather going on. So lucky for you guys. Hashtag jealous. We got Craig Pittenhouse there. Morning all. Hey, Craig. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the chat as well. Always a pleasure. DGN here. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, DGN Hexkin. Cool. We got Wookie in house there. What's it? Nothing better than a Texas barbecue. That is true. Nothing better than Texas barbecue. It is pretty awesome. And of course, Archie's got here Texas barbecue in the office, though. Maybe not quite as cool. That's basically takeout. I think he's talking about takeout there with the Texas barbecue. Now, when I think about Texas, what do I think? I think let's go to a rodeo. Let's go to one of those bars where they do the country dancing, those sort of things where you have the mix between the party dancing atmosphere, and they've got the cool boots, and they wear the cool jeans and the cool cowboy hats. That's kind of what I think there. And you have get some proper smoked barbecue and one of those big giant grills that they have. That'd be pretty cool. Things like that. That's the sort of thing I think about. That's kind of cool. Excavator's announced it. Hey, gang, I hope you're doing well, the Excavator. And there's nothing finer than, as a Hexavator said, there's nothing finer than a Hex miner. That's absolutely true. What else we got? Refined in house as well. SolidX. Woo! Yeah, SolidX been doing a great tier. We covered that a couple of days ago with DragonX, didn't we? And that's doing pretty well. And SolidX, of course, is the version of it. Well, it's a project on Pulsechain that's going to be having a game coming out maybe by the end of the year by the DragonX founder on SolidX, which is anyone who knows Firewhale, which is Randy Olasky's a big business friend. It's could be a nice little pickup there, and the old SolidX ends up today, I believe. I'm going to check that out in the charts. Archie says, you know what I don't think about when I hear Texas? Bowling. Yeah, I agree. Bowling's not. I mean, bowling's an American thing, but not when you're thinking about going to Texas. You think, barbecue, rodeo, line dancing, things like that. That's kind of what I think about. Maybe what is it? What's the big? I've forgotten what it's called now. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's get into it, folks. Let's get into the markets. If you're new to the channels, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. We are streaming on 3 different YouTube channels to over 10,500 subscribers here on Hex Token channel, Pulsechain X, and of course Superman Crypto, which is doing pretty well. Gun range, says Woogie. Yeah, a lot of guns. That's true. They have a lot of guns in Texas. What else there? Cowboys. We got and cowgirls. Let's not forget cowgirls. We got BTC there, 58,434, down 2%. Now it was actually doing pretty well before the live stream, it just got sold off a little bit now, which kind of typical sleepy Sunday, as we say in the northern hemisphere. And it is normally weaker on the markets, but it was actually doing pretty well before the live stream. It just started selling off maybe in the last 20, 30 minutes. So we're going to check that out. Ethereum there at $2,614, down slightly, 0.2%. BNB down 2.3% at $530. We do have some green charts though. Solana's up slightly, 0.2%. Tron's up 0.2% there. What else there? Matic is up a little bit. Matic is up a little bit there. Now ADA is down 0.9%. Now everyone's still waiting for the Chang upgrade, right? The sort of where the blockchain has the DAO. That's a big upgrade for ADA, but still delayed. It just keeps going on with the delays there. And XRP is down 0.75% there on XRP. So it's kind of the mix of price charts at the moment. Over there overall, let's jump over to Bitcoin. Zooming in it, this is the hourly chart. I told you, it just sold off just before the live stream. Look at that. Just the way it goes. A bit of volume came in, sold that down. We're actually doing really well. We're up at 59,360, and we just got sold down to 58,300 just on the lazy Sunday there. I mean, I don't know what they like to do there, but that is where we are at the moment. Of course, we had a couple of previous sell-offs in the hourly back earlier, right? That's kind of how we got to. We're currently at 58,391. Let's go to the daily, though. That's the hourly chart. Let's go to the daily. And how are we doing? Well, the 200 moving average in blue, this blue line, is currently worth 59,412. And the yellow line 50-day is at 61,515. We're below that at the moment. But we haven't had a death cross yet. It's getting closer, right? Getting closer. Still got a nice gap there, though. About, what's that, $2,000 in gap. So it's still a nice gap. But yeah, definitely teasing us there. We did know, of course, I've said this most days, that August, September would be the more volatile months. And then October is what we're all picking for a takeoff. And it may be spurred on, shortly after the interest rate pivot we're expecting on the 18th September there. I'm hoping for 50 basis points, but let's say we get 25. That's still positive there. And of course, we're keen to get Trump winning, not just for world freedom, which is fundamental now. We can see there's a coordinated effort to remove democracy and freedom in the West. And of course, that would be game over if the Democrats and Kamala Harris win that election. So that's going to play. At the moment, election, could qualified poll results are still showing Trump there leading. So fingers crossed, that's where we want to head to. And I think the initial, manipulation in Kamala Harris thing is starting to fall away. Looks like in her last speech, she was completely drunk in the last speech, and she was talking all gibbly-gash. I don't know if you've seen that, but she was definitely looked drunk as a monkey. Anyway, that's kind of where we are at the moment. So fingers crossed there. Moving over to Ethereum. Ethereum there at the moment on the hourly. Like we just had a bit of a sell-off there too, obviously, following Bitcoin. Let's jump over to the daily on Ethereum. And we can see that, we've got the death cross already in Ethereum, but we have a $2,000 gap for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is doing a lot better. At the moment, we've got the 200-day moving average on Ethereum is $3,050, and the 50-day is at $2,972. But we had that death cross. Now, we're hoping this is going to be short-lived, right? Maybe through August, September, and then we get hyper rally in Ethereum later on. Now, Ethereum has obviously gone inflationary again. It's still relative deflationary since it went did its upgrade, but it's still reversed that deflationary trend. Paradigm charting, it's probably played a big role in that. What else there? That is kind of where we are at the moment on the daily here. Daily here. So we're pretty flat though. We're in a kind of a consolidation zone here. We're kind of right in the middle of it, aren't we? At $2,600. That's where we are at the moment. And like I say, like Bitcoin, should benefit from the interest rates. And leading in October, hopefully we'll have the takeoff. Trump wins. That's super bullish again. That will just add more fuel to the fire there, and more interest rate cuts for the rest of the year. That leads us into meme coins on Bitcoin. Obviously, we're picking Dog for the win, and here we are on Magic Eden, #1 DEX for meme coins on Bitcoin. Dog was doing pretty well, obviously, with the Bitcoin pulling back. Dog's just come down a little bit, but still up positive, up 5%. It's just sitting just below 5 Satoshis. Market cap has been fighting around 300 million, currently 292 million at the moment, but there's been a really good pickup in the number of holders So we've got 81,731 holders. I think that's up about 300 since yesterday. So that's doing really well. Certainly up a lot. And we've got 20 pending buys. So that's just on the DEX alone. It's not the centralized exchange, which is Gate.io, right? It's where it's doing most of the volume. But this is doing really well. And those holders numbers are going up all the time. 300, that's pretty good. 81,737. So this will have its day in the sun, I should say. Let's look at the all chart for dog. You can see that it topped out at what was this 13.1 sats. I think the intraday was higher, but now we're down at about 5 sats. And once this chart has its next rally, it's going to be really glorious, I'm sure. Definitely, a chance for hitting maybe 1 to 3 cents somewhere in that ballpark, and that's going to be pretty mean. Now that is on the dog. Obviously, we've had some other movements on Ryzik. Ryzik's up 16%. We've got some tapering off on Banker Nakamoto Dollar, down 20%. What else here? Rune Pups, $1 billion cap at number 8 is up 13%. And Liquidity now at number 10 is up 5%. Those are kind of the leaders there. And one of my other favorites, Lobo the Woolpup, up 5% at the moment. That's kind of the play on the runes. Moving to overall meme coins, we see that we've got Dodge is down. It's still down for the week 1%, so not too bad. A week ago it would have been pretty much similar. Market cap is at $14.5 billion for Dodge, the number 1 meme coin in the world. We can see that we've had some bigger moves amongst Dog with Hat. That's down 15.66% for the week, so that's quite a bit of a shaving off value. Something just below 1.4 billion. What else is down a lot? Brett on Base Chain is also down 15% for the week, down 3% in the last 24 hours, and its market cap still at 770 million. So you get a lot of variability with the markets kind of where they are at the moment, that volatility. And of course, we get all the way down to Dog. Dog down here is actually flat for the week, down 2%. Now it was up positive actually. Just that little shaving in the last 24 hours or last hour here, you can see it's down 5%, has reduced that to almost flat for the week, but it was actually doing better than that earlier. Just shows you how volatile it is, moves around. Cats in the dog world, Mew is up 3.3% for the week, down 4% at the moment. So there is a bit of movement around there, but no mad gains for meme coins at the moment, right? No mad gains. And looking at AI coins, have a quick look at that while we're here on the old AI coins. It's looking a bit better actually, isn't it? AI coins and some of the leaders there than meme coins at the moment. So a little bit of gain for the weeks. Not much different, but certainly looking a little bit healthier there. Total market cap 2.07 trillion is the total market cap of crypto, down 1% at the moment on lazy Sunday. Now we typically expect that on a Sunday in the northern hemisphere, so probably no surprises there at the moment. And it's still a very small market cap if you think about it globally. So lots of room to move there. We need a lot of that Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs really kick into gear, and we've already seen a lot of that happen. We've got Morgan Stanley with their 15,000 advisors, part of their product suite, and they've got hundreds of millions of dollars in it now too. So I think we're just in the early days, still very early days, and we're waiting for that hyper bull run. And it could start in October. That's kind of the pick there. We're going to get the Pulsechain results for day 464. Can you believe it? Man, oh man, it just keeps ticking away. Day 464. Let's see what else we've got comments about. Wookie keeps going on about the gun range and Rider Cowboy. I don't know about any of those things, but definitely I think about when I Texas, I think about barbecue and rodeos and line dancing and all sort of fun stuff. Let's see here. All right, let's get back to it. All right, Pulsechain. We're at day 464. It's unbelievable. We're heading towards 500 days. It just seems mind-blowing, doesn't it? We're at price at the moment, quadruple 0365. It's pretty much flat, up slightly though, 1/800%, sitting at 37% of the mean sacrifice price. So that's looking, just what it is. We've got Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 0194. It's below the 2000 line, which, I wish it was above that, but it's not. Down 0.6%, sitting below 20% of the mean sacrifice price. Buy and burn, as we say every day, doesn't really care too much. It does want more volume though, but it is sitting at 954.8 billion. Pulsex has been bought up and burned, 4.73% of the public supply. And that's with the volumes on Pulsechain, relatively low at the moment. We've got incentive token $1.85 down. Funny enough, it's down 55, so just over 0.5%. And of course, a lot of that will be the ratio, which is down at 50,654 pulse per incentive. So that's kind of where that's at. Total in supply, 39.4 million incentive tokens from the PulseX V1 farms, ticking away there. Now it's going to be interesting to see this PulseX incentive. If we see any changes with the contract, ownership contract, and the DAO, whether we see something like that come up. Maybe I'm kind of thinking maybe at the end of the year or in the new year might possibly see something there. We shall see. But that is kind of going to be interesting if we get the Master Chief contract there gets changed and all. We've got Hex at the moment. That could support a bit of value, right? Hex there at the moment, just under 4,700 or just over 4,700 of a penny. EHEX at 1,300 of a penny, so EHEX is up. And the combined price of EHEX and PX is holding pretty solid around 0.6 of a cent at the moment. And I still think that's pretty good value to get into. So yeah, that's kind of where it is, down 0.5% at the moment on Hex on Pulsechain. That's kind of the results there for day 464. Let's jump into the charts and have a look at that. I was playing around with the Mafia results there. Let me just go back up here. So let's see. Now we've talked about the global news, pretty much around for crypto generally, but of course Pulsechain has specific news, and really it is this court case versus the SEC, and we are ticking closer and closer to Richard Hart's response with his Dream Team lawyers. That is coming up soon too. So yeah, that is only a couple of days away, 3 days away. Yeah, that's where we are at the moment. So that would be coming up 22nd. So what's that? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Thursday US time, probably when we're expecting that, but we probably won't see it, right? So, but that's going to be a response to the SEC. So the SEC responded to the motion to dismiss on the 8th of July, and Richard Hart has got his coming up in a couple of days, probably Thursday there, responding to that with his Dream Team. So I'm feeling kind of bullish about that. I think it's going to have a good chance. And then, of course, they're going to have oral hearings later on the 22nd of October. So that's the next big event. And we may hear the judgment of that maybe by December, January. That's kind of when we might reasonably expect that judgment. That's kind of where we are. So that's kind of overhang over Pulsechain at the moment. And of course, the US election may provide us a insurance policy if Trump wins, right? Only if Trump wins. If Kamala Harris wins, then it's going to be pretty nightmarish. But that is kind of where we are at the moment on that. So we'll get a change of the guard to SEC and a new approach. And maybe the case itself gets dropped, depending on what the status is and all that. So that's the insurance policy there. We didn't want that. That would take effect, probably January, February, with new cabinet and changes like that by the new administration. Fingers crossed on that one. Pulsex at the moment, obviously looking the better performer, still holding this yellow uptrend, and got higher lows. All the rest of the stuff holding this nice support line above 1800, and of course currently at 1930. 6 with 4 zeros in front of it, so it's ticking away. We haven't yet got a bullish cross on our moving averages yet, but it's it's getting there. And the RSI is super chill, right down at 42. So Pulsex is a nice accumulation. That's kind of where that is at the moment. Kind of cool. Now if we flick that over to Pulsex versus Pulse, we can see that it's clearly in this trend. Pulsex has been increasing its value versus Pulse, right? Now that being said, Pulsex has a bigger LP market. So if we do get a bit of a turn, we might see that relativity change and this trade down at some stage if we do get that final uptrend, but that could be later in the year, right? Magic Upright, of course, at the moment, was a buy-in at 3,700 on the ETH for the 170 ETH that's being bought, and that could be, that means that we could be delayed until we get the ETH taking off, and that could be October. So really, October is pretty pivotal for Pulsechain with the court case, and of course with the potential takeoff in the market leading into winter or summer here down under. That's kind of where we are pivoted at the moment. INC $1.83. The ratio though is holding pretty well. I mean, look at that; it's right in that little range. Been holding fantastic, which means the Pulsex farms have been a really good place to be, earning that nice sweet income, which has been held up, really nice yields. So that's looking pretty good. Not much else to say about that. Hex at the moment, obviously a nice little pickup buy. Had a little bit of action recently, coming off the bottom. We were down at 4,400 of a penny, now at 4,700. So that's kind of cool. So I'm pretty chill there on the daily. And like I say, just basically a accumulation zone for Hex because it's down near the lows, right? So not bad there. And of course, EHEX similarly, it has had a better run though, but still super cheap there at 1300th of a penny. And that's pretty much it on that. Looking at Hex derivatives, let's go to that. Nothing really too much happening here. Base, the 1 year maxi Hex mining pool is up 1.8% today. It's kind of cool. And the trio, the 3 year is up 0.5%. That's very little liquidity in those pools though, but those are both slightly green. Looking at the stable coins, any action there? Well, LUSD is actually up 6.3%. So it's one of the speculative stable coins with the burning mechanism, and sitting at 6.2% today. So a little bit of update there on LUSD, but probably not really moved too much otherwise. And PDI down at 1900 of a penny is down just slightly today. That's pretty much it. How's the pegs going? Well, USDL is just below peg, 99.4 cents. PXDC is just below peg at 99.72. Coast is below peg, by 2 cents, so it's 97.88. And HexDC is at peg, so HexDC doing well there. And congratulations there. That's backed by Hex, right? So that's pretty much that. Looking at influencer coins, what else we got here? SolidX, yeah, SolidX is up. Someone said SolidX earlier. Who was that actually? Have I got that post still? SolidX, yeah, Refine there said SolidX. Woohoo! Yeah, so that is actually up today. That's our leader out of influencer coins, up 6.3%. Like I say, maybe later in the end of the year, Dragon X game that's going to be launching on SolidX could be huge. Might even rival Mafia on Pulsechain, and that is up 6.3% today at $16.88. Remember, that peaked out in the first week at $265. It's going to be interesting to see that with Randy Yalaski's whale friend, Fire Whale, right? Access Alive is up 2.3%. 11,362. So it's made a little bit of a comeback there. And Note Token for Randy Yalaski at 1400th of a penny is up 1.5% as well. Like his bromance as well from Ben Armstrong, aka formerly BitBoy. There is also up 1.4%. A little bit of move there. Let's have a look overall markets on Pulsechain. Let's see how we're doing there. The volume is pretty low. Yeah, $4.5 million of volume. It is a weekend volume on Sunday, but hopefully we'll double that at least. Ideally, we'd like to get the chain to do $25 million a lot of the time, but that's hopefully ahead of us. Yeah, $4.5 million, pretty low, but it is a Sunday, so hopefully we double that for the weekday when we come into Monday at least. 147,000 transactions at the moment. Looking at some of the trending ones there, we see Rex is up 13.4%. We talked about SolidX, that's number 2. They're up about 9%. PDDC, the Greys, one of the better projects on Pulsechain for sure. With the DAO and reflection ecosystem, sort of recycling back into it, 8.4%. What else there is looking to LUSD? We talked about that. So one of these there. Fugazi is up 6%. DWB, so many of you will be familiar with these sort of meme coins, up 6% there. Crow up 5%. Access Alive, we talked about that, is up as well. So a little bit of movement there. King Pui still making a bit of a move, 4%. And UFO related PDGC is up 3.7% as well. Time dividend there from KG Internet Money Wallet is up 3.3%. Now let me know in the chat there if you've been benefiting from a lot of the trading volumes on time. You've been earning some nice little crypto on that. So a big shout out to KG and the team. It is pretty much the dedicated wallet to Pulsechain. I think there's a couple others. Does anyone else use Pulse Wallet? I think that's out there. I don't really do too much with that one, but pretty big project. That's kind of it at the moment on Pulsechain. So that's where we are for the weekend. Now that we're going to come back here and go back to the watch list, go to Mafia there, and we come back to that. So that is kind of the results for the prices. Let's have a quickly look at other utilities. Gwei at the moment beats on Pulsechain under 37,000, very low. You can see it's just really tapered off there. 0.2 of a cent for a PulseX swap, 100th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, and 300th of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. That is where we're at. And validators at the moment, 48,500. And we got 1.55 trillion Pulse staked in the staking pool. Let's have a look at the bridge. This is kind of a health check. Now, I don't know whether I took a snapshot of that yesterday. No, it doesn't look like I did. So I don't have a snapshot to compare. We are up from yesterday, though. So we're at 92 and a half or something. No, 92 and a half approximately. So it looks like we are up about $1 million on the bridge. That's kind of cool. We've got 27.9 million on DAI. ETH is 23.6 million. Bitcoin 1.9 million. Coast pretty much the same. EHEX there is up a bit, right? So the EHEX is probably contributing to that as well. I'm not sure about USDC or USD Tether, but that is the makes there. So we're actually up a little bit there on the bridge. Not bad. So that is pretty much it. And of course, we're going to be starting day 465. That's kind of where we're at on Pulsechain. Let's jump over to the Mafia and get into that. We've got any comments in the chat? Let's see here. We got the Pulsechain altcoin says, you still chart the Donald Trump meme coin on Pulsechain? Heard a Troper dev talking about it. No, I haven't really been following that closely on that one. Let's see. It probably will do well for the election, though. You know, pick up some pace there, but you know, still pretty speculative. All right, so we got Mafia on Pulsechain, and we got let's have a look at both of them on BNB as well. And let's see here. Just waiting for Dick Screener. So Mafia on Pulsechain at the moment. We just had we just had a good time talking about Mafia. Sort of just moving sideways at the moment at 11/100th of a penny. Certainly a wonderful accumulation zone if you want to pick up Mafia to speculate or to stake with your families. Kind of cool. And if you want to buy, you need to buy 2,000 Mafia to set up a player. So it's still ticking away there. Good entry at the moment. So looking pretty good. Now, obviously, we've been waiting quite some time for the map. We're not really sure when that's coming out. They have made a bit of progress. We'll talk about that. 53 days since the NFT marketplace came out. So it's quite a long time. We were expecting the map before. Obviously, Jacob was ill and the team was on holiday. So hopefully we'll get there sooner than later. Where we're in at the moment. It'd be pretty nice to get that out in early September. The first half of September sometime would be good. So fingers crossed on that. We did see a bit of update on the, on the maps here. So if we go to the Syndicate family and we have a look at the upgrade, we did see a little update on the businesses. So if you're on the businesses, you can actually see that they've got these new slots: protection, slot, effectiveness, and profit total. So those are for the businesses. So that's kind of been added, and that looks preset for the map, right? So that's been a kind of cool little update there. But that's kind of where we're at the moment, waiting for the map. It is the biggest update in the game moving forward. And so, yeah, going to be pretty important leading into that. And, of course, the 2 stages after that as well be pretty important. So that's kind of where we are there at the moment on Mafia, on Pulsechain. Mafia on BNB at the moment is sitting at 000212, well below the mean sacrifice price there. It's obviously caused some frustration for people in the TYCZ sacrifice, and that is currently down 86% on that, and sitting at 0021. But this is off the bottom. The bottom was much lower. It was down at where we go here. It was down at 0015. So it is up from the bottom at the moment. How much? Let's all look. Let's see here. Bam. It's up about 42% off the bottom there at the moment. So there we go. Remember, it does have taxes on it. So if you go to the Mafia and go to buy Mafia, it does have a 4.7% buy tax and a 16.6% sell tax. That feeds the vault, so it goes back into the game. And you need about a 5% buy slippage and about a 20% sell slippage on that. And of course, that feeds the vaults. And the vault's been filling up pretty nicely, right? So if we add up the 2 vaults at the moment on BNB and the vault here on Pulsechain, I think we're sitting at about $260,000 US, and that's at the current prices of Pulsechain, which are on the bottom end, and BNB, where that's at the moment. So the upside is massive for Pulsechain. That vault could get very, very serious. Indeed, it's already pretty awesome at $250,000, and could get pretty insane after that. Just with a couple of X's on the charts, maybe in October onwards, right? Which is when we're kind of expecting the hyper bull market to begin, potentially into the new year, right? Depending on how things go. All right, so that's kind of the play there at the moment. Let's have a look at the families here on Pulsechain. So obviously, the Syndicate's still number 1, the most feared family in the Mafia game. So big shout out to everybody in the Syndicate. Obviously, I'm in the Syndicate as well. And that is sitting at 520,757 on the worth. We've got Gearheads there sitting at number 2 at 519,634. So they're, about 1,100 behind there. They've been increasing their position just like the Syndicate has. We've got the Salamancas at number 3, 176,000. And then we've got the Yakuza, which has been growing a little bit too. That's almost about the 160,000 on the worth. And then we've got the Hustlers sitting at number 5, 114,552. So top 5 families still performing well. Now everyone's having to be pretty patient, right? because we're waiting for the next game map and things like that. We probably do need more communications from the Mafia, Pulse Pot team there. So, Jacob, you're listening. It'd be great to get a bit of a communication update with the status of things. Apart from that, the big families are still positioning themselves, still increasing their strength and things like that, and doing a lot of X marketing, right? So the syndicate in particular is crushing it out there on X at the moment, doing a whole ton of promotion for Mafia and the syndicate family. So big shout out to everybody supporting that. If you are on X, to retweet, repost, all that sort of stuff, hit the likes, leave comments. That really makes a big deal. And a big shout out to Archie Capone, the Don for the syndicate and the head of the Directorate Alliance, that he's been doing that. So big shout out, and people have been supporting him. Big shout out to MV's been supporting them, Max Payne, myself, of course, and others. It makes a big deal there, and that campaign is ongoing. So the syndicate doing a great job there. Yeah, that's kind of where we are there. What else are we going to say about that? That is ticking away. Obviously, people can get crates at the moment, $20 a crates, and open up some, in-game assets, including there's still 38.2 million Mafia remaining and that reward, so it's still ticking away. The market is still turning over. People are buying and selling, and we can just go to the history page, and we can see that, we've had a couple of buys today, 3 buys. Yesterday, we had quite a few, maybe 10 buys yesterday. So the market is still ticking over here on Pulsechain, which is kind of cool. People are still accumulating wealth and in-game assets. So it's pretty neat. And like I say, the vault looking pretty good. 5.16 billion pulse worth $190,000 over on Pulsechain. And if we flick over to BNB, quickly talk about that. That's also been going pretty well. We've got the families there still ticking away there. The original gangsters number 1, 145,700, and the syndicate there at number 2, 128,225, led by the Capone and the Directorate. And then we've got obviously Mugnows at 78,000, the Yakuza at 28, and the Illuminati at 13,700, holding the 5 paid spots there, doing pretty well. And of course, the Directorate controlling 3 of the families out of the 5 there as well. So 6 in total out of 10. So the syndicate really is the most feared and most powerful family out there, doing a great job, led by Archie the Don Capone, which is pretty awesome. Crates over here, still $20 as well, but in BNB, you can purchase keys and open up crates. They've still got the businesses, so there's 36 businesses remaining, and a lot of those will be slot machines, roulettes, and bullet factories. So that's looking really good. They're worth potentially thousands of dollars on those. Maybe over here a bit cheaper, but definitely some huge opportunity there. 50,000 Mafias remaining, so none of the Mafia's been won on BNB, and all the keys are still win big keys there as well. So that's ticking away. Market, not so much activity on the market. Obviously, a lot less momentum over on BNB at the moment, but it may pick up later when we get closer to the game launches. So that's something worthy to check out. And you may be able to get some real bargains at the moment, relatively speaking. You have to do your knowledge. You have to know what you're looking at. But that's kind of the play there. Then we look at history. You've got no trades for today. The last trade was 2 days ago at the moment on BNB Mafia. So definitely the turnover is a lot lower there. But there's we have a couple of days ticking over there. Now the vault, of course, on BNB, 128.42 BNB is in the vault. $68,000. Like I say, if you add those 2 up, it's about $260,000 US, adding Pulsechain and BNB. And yeah, that's just ticking away at the moment. Number 1 contributor to the vault is the Taxman, as opposed to Pulsechain, which is the Keys, right? Keys is number 1. This is swapped around basically on BNB. And then, of course, you got Marketplace contributing at the bottom. That's kind of the play there at the moment. Now, Wikipedia, I don't think there's been any particular updates on Wikipedia that I'm aware of major updates. They're always updating us a little bit. But yeah, just I don't think there's anything. I'm just having a quick look through and nothing specific that I can see. There may be little tweaks here and there. There's obviously some game assets and things like that that are not in the market or opening in the boxes. They're probably something that we'll have after the Mafia map there with upgrades and things. So other weapons and transports and things like that in the game. So it's going to be pretty cool. So that's a kind of a quick Mafia update today on that. And of course the prices there, relative prices there. 1100th of a penny for Mafia, and what's that? 21,000th of a penny or something for a Mafia on BNB. So both could pick ups in my opinion there. All right, that leads us to Hex. I don't know if we've had updates for Hex yet. They still haven't had the charts updates. They're all based on the 15th of August. So we're a couple of days behind here on Hex. So I don't think we'll be able to update those today until the data sheet gets upgraded, right, or updated. What's that? 35 minutes on the hour. Not bad, not bad. We got Trev Newman in house there. Superman, you're a machine, mate. We are close. We are close from the Dominican Republic. Hey, Trev, appreciate that. Big shout out to you in the Dominican Republic. Hope you're having a good time. Hey, look, yeah, we're sharing a journey on Pulsechain, the ups and the downs and the long time and all that sort of stuff. The magic carpet ride in the future sometime. So accumulation zone right now. That's pretty much it. So yeah. It's what we do, and we're highlighting some of the better projects, right? It's going to be pretty cool. Now, some people asked me about liquid loans, I think, yesterday, and I was going, well, these are the big protocols, DeFi protocols on Pulsechain. So once we get an uptrend on Pulsechain, those are probably going to, be a nice leverage play on Pulsechain and Pulsex. So accumulating when the market is depressed is probably a good idea, and you just got to hold, you bide your time. That's kind of the play there. Obviously, some people may be waiting till after we hear about the court case in October through maybe January, December, January, and that's that might pay off for them. But at the moment, it's still a good zone to accumulate at these current prices with the lower volumes. So good play there. Right, you never know. $10 could become $100 or $1,000. With that kind of strategy. All right, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's content. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell. Now, not this weekend coming up, but the following weekend, we're going to be doing another special show on the Syndicate and Mafia, and we're going to have some special guests from, I believe, we may have some special guests from another family. So it's going to be Archie Don Capone, and possibly, I don't know, we're lucky we'll get Max Payne on as well, the Capitacina for the Syndicate. But we will potentially have a special guest from one of the Arthur Mafia families inside the Allegiance, which is the only Allegiance on the Pulsechain side. That's something coming up, not this weekend, but in another week's time, so maybe almost 2 weeks from now. But that's going to be pretty cool to have that show. And we did a show, a week ago or so, on the Syndicate with Archie. That was pretty cool. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So we're going to be having that. You're going to see on X that we're still doing a lot of promotion. So we're not sleeping. We are doing a lot of promotion for Mafia and for the Syndicate on X, and that's going very well. We're getting thousands of views on that, and we're looking to build up that following. Whereas Mafia is the #1 GameFi project on Pulsechain, and we are fully committed to keeping that up. So that's going pretty good at the moment. Now, if you want to also get into, Kay Hudson says, let's go Mafia. Absolutely. We got Sir Charles says Dragon X. Absolutely. So obviously we had the founder, Eric there of Dragon X the other day, did an interview with him. That was really, really fun to do. And of course, Titan X Dragon X is really in takeoff zone. Now, if you haven't gone to our strategy club, we talk about projects on multi-chain in there. Titan X Dragon X is one of those. So you can join up to that today. $35 a month. Links in the video description there on the Discord. It's a private club inside our Pulsechain and Hex Discord. So join up today on that. Now, Dragon X. I mean, these things are about to go through the roof. I think in October, September, October. I think you've a couple more weeks to really get a good entry on these assets before they really start taking off, and could be some of the best performing stuff on Ethereum in this ecosystem, right? So it's the first time we've seen this kind of setup. It's at scale with a lot of flywheels and things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see that play out. Kind of a no-brainer at this stage, right? Bring it on. That's all I can say. Big X is potentially coming out there for the Titan X, Dragon X ecosystem, and all the other projects. Was there 17 projects? It's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe 17 plus more. It's going to be pretty cool. Big shout out to Sergio there for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Nice red one too. It's bold, isn't it? Nice and red. Appreciate that. So that one. All right. I think that's it. Is that where we're at? I think that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I will catch you again tomorrow. We'll have the stock market tomorrow, the first day of Monday, of course. So we're talking about that then as well. And I will catch you guys up on the next show tomorrow. It's going to be pretty good. All right. Take care, everybody. Don't forget to see you in Discord. Links in the video description. And I'll catch you again on tomorrow's show. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend in the north. And then if you're on the Monday, I hope you guys are working hard, whatever you guys are doing. All right, take care. Bye for now, as we say. But let's play out the Magic Out Ride, because that's the theme of Pulsechain, is the Magic Out Ride. It's the theme of Pulsechain is DeFi, true DeFi chain, but also Magic Out Ride. We'll add that in because it's so cool. Let's find the Magic Out Ride video and play that out on the way out. All right, take care. Bye for now.
in theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.